Hey, what's up, everyone? This is a tool where I'm from the BIDC, and I have an incredible new work holding product today from Schunk, the Rota S Plus 2 160-2. This is going to be a chuck for the 5-axis, which already has the Vero S system. So you guys are enabled with all this new product for all your round stock needs. So with this, we have uh, 4 different chuck configurations. So these guys, all 4 of them, can be found if you go under work holding stocks and machines. You go under Schunk. You have this folder for Rota S plus 2 160-2. You'll be able to find these 4 configurations there. So in this video, I'm going to be going over how to use this chuck, all 4 configurations in the CAD environment, and then we'll go up to the UMC and teach you guys how to use the physical product. So first product we have, or first configuration we have, is the through standard uh, configuration. So for smaller stock, longer pieces as well, where you need a through jaw configuration. We also have a standard step configuration, so that's your lowest step here for smaller diameters. We have a larger configuration, which is going to be this middle step, and the largest configuration being this top step. So with all of these, to change your opening diameter, we have under change parameters, we have this parameter diameter Rota S plus 2 step standard for the standard step configuration, and then you can change your value right here, and I even give you a range of what each chuck can do. So for the step configurations, you only have this parameter to work with, and then this guy right here is your stock anchor, so that can be found under sketches. You also have your through jaw configuration. This is going to have an extra parameter, which is your stick-in. So you can adjust the stick-in depending on your stock diameter and your stock length. So this distance corresponds to the distance you want to clamp, or your stick-in value from the top of the chuck. So right now, this stock anchor right here is 1 inch from the top of the jaw right here. So if I change that to like half an inch, you can see it moves up. And let's just say I have something smaller than the through bore on the chuck. I can adjust it and make this maybe like 3 inches. And you can see it's buried in the chuck now. So those are your parameters to play with. You also have your diameter range, clamping range here as well, 0.17 to 1.98 inches in diameter. So the way we'd go about using this chuck in the CAM environment, if I go to manufacture, again, you would use this point to joint your stock to the chuck. Here in our setup, I'm going to quickly go ahead and just choose a machine. So machine's already chosen, UMC 500 SS. Fixture, go ahead and select the, I only have the fixture here, I don't have my stock and model to correspond, but ultimately I'd click this as my fixture. And then for WCS, if you've seen the Vice video, the previously that I made, you know that my WCS origin, it's under sketches as well, WCS and machine anchor, is this point at the bottom of the chuck. Select that guy, make sure your orientation is correct, so Z is up, X is along this distance, so oh yeah, X-axis is already selected. And I also want you guys to be aware that the direction does matter here when you go up to the vise in the machine. So you can see the reference here is that I have a chamfer here and a fillet here. And then the back, I have a fillet and a fillet here. So just make sure that corresponds as well, or it copies over from your cam environment to the actual machining session. All right, so WCS origin looks good, and WCS orientation also looks good. So if I go to part position, again similar to the vise, selected point, select that point again. Again, that was the WCS machining and machine anchor. And table attach point is going to be the top of our Vero S module right here. So this warning is from me not having a proper setup, but with your model in stock. But you can reference our mill cam setup video on YouTube. Once everything is done, this is how your setup should look in the cam machine model here. So now we're going to head over to the actual machine, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how you would go about clamping it, how you would go about changing from your through configuration to your step configuration, what torque values, and how this works with the Vero S module. Alright, so now we're at the machine. We got the Schunk Rota S plus 2 with us, and we got our Vero S module. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to switch over from the vise to the chuck here. So get your Vero S coupling and get your air fitting here. Clamp it together. We have this fitting on the side, and it automatically releases. Now, you just want to take like a rag or something, clean off the module here, make sure it's nice and clean and dust free. Take your hand as well and use the oils on your hand to take off any dust. You also want to make sure all this is clean. And chip free. And then in the machine, you'll have the fitting going this way as seen right here. So you're going to line up the front with the front of the machine, release the coupling, and boom, thousands of pounds of force holding that pallet down. And the reason this is front and rear is because if you remember last video, we have the 2 pins set up on the pallet like we do on the vise, where the front pin is this ground A pin, and then the rear pin is this kind of diamond pin like B pin, which controls your angle, and this is controlling your XY position. Now that we have it on the Vero S module, let's go ahead and put in our jaws. So today we got for our 4-inch diameter aluminum here. So we're going to be using our step jaw configuration. So each of the jaws will have a number on them. So you'll see this one says 1 on it. And then there's 2, 3. It'll be on the side of the jaw as well as the front of the adapter module here, or the item with the teeth. So the chuck face, if we look at it, has corresponding numbers on them at each jaw. So jaw 1, I'll line up to slot 1 here, and there's a button here. You click that button, you slide it in, and we'll just line it up with one of these lines on the front face here. So you can see, let me rotate it here. you can see we have lines on the face of the chuck right here. You never want the front of your jaw to be above these lines, always in towards the inside of the diameter. So I'll start off by putting jaws 2 and 3 as well. Hit the button, and you'll have to give it a little bit of force to actually push it in. Aligned with the third slot on the inside, or the innermost slot. And you can see if I don't push the button, I can't physically push it in. And I'm lined up with that inside line right there. Alright, so now that all 3 jaws are in, I'm going to find my, I'm going to actually now go ahead and see how much further I can push the jaw in. So remember, we're using the step based on what the clamping range from CAM states, or the CAD model, your parameters section. So I know that since this is a 4-inch piece of stock that I need to use the larger section, which is the second step from the top. So looking at it, I got a lot of play here, so I can push those jaws in a little bit more. I'm just going to do 1 click. Place it back on. I still have a little bit of play. Let's see. Let's do 1 more. Alright, so now that we have the jaws set, I'm going to set my workpiece, and then I'm going to clamp it. So, 12mm socket. I'm using a drill, but be careful if you're using a drill. You want to set it to the lowest torque setting, just to make sure that if you back it out, that you're not putting too much force into that spindle, which could potentially break the internal mechanism of the chuck. So I'm going to go in, tighten it, let the jaws touch off. So that's the jaws touched off. This is actually showing an improper clamping situation. That's because if you see right here, right underneath the spindle, we have this gold pin that's protruding out. That's our indicator pin showing if I'm clamped properly or not. If it's protruding out like this, that means my jaws didn't travel enough, meaning that this is not the correct clamping situation. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and unclamp it. And the reason I'm unclamping before just moving the jaws is because I actually physically can't. The mechanism doesn't allow you to actually move the jaws if it's in a clamped state by hitting the button. So I got to unclamp here. Alright, so once you hit that hard stop, it is important that you don't go or don't put any force behind this. That you will damage the chuck. Alright, so we'll do 1 tooth out. Put this guy back in. I know there's a lot of play, so what we'll do, we'll actually use a drill. Make sure you set it to the lowest torque setting so that you don't put a lot of force into this when backing out and tightening the spindle. And you'll see when I clamp the workpiece, the indicator pin will go in. So now you can see it start moving, and it's all the way inward. And now I'm clamped, and this is the correct clamping situation here. So now I'll go ahead and clamp this or torque this to the red spec. 12mm socket. I should have mentioned that before, but it's all good. And we're going to set it to 55 foot-pounds. $55. Alright,
That's my torque there. Alright, so now it's completely clamped. The stock isn't moving anywhere. I'm good to go in and machine. But just for reference, I'm going to show you a little bit more about this chuck. So just going to go ahead and unclamp the stock real quick. And the reason, again, that I set this to a lower setting is because I want it to ratchet out when I hit my backstop when backing out the spindle here. And now I can actually move my jaws again. So one thing you'll also notice is, let's say one of the jaws was out of place, but outside of the 3 lines on the face of the chuck. If I go in and try to tighten this, I'll be able to do a couple turns and it'll stop. Do not force it past this. It means something is wrong. Just take your stock out, check again that it's correct, and then go on. So now, let's back it out. Let's adjust it so that's in the lines. But let's say the 2 are on the innermost line, and then this guy is on like the middle line. I'll go in and clamp it again. Basically what I'm trying to show you here is that I can move the spindle unlike the jaw being on the outside. So just be mindful where your jaw is in accordance to the diameter of the chuck. Is it on one of the lines? Is it on the inside? Is it on the outside? So just be mindful. Check twice that your jaw is in the right place for your stock, and that you're not putting too much force into tightening or loosening the spindle. Alright, so that's how you use this chuck. If you guys need any help or you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me on Discord. My Discord tag is Avucha, that's A-V-U-C-H-A, and my name is Atul Ram. This is the Schunk Rota S Plus 2.0. I hope you guys have fun. Boom.